Good morning, everyone. I am Joseph S. Lapasanda, and our group is tasked to discuss the chapter 10, which is all about continuous monitoring. So, let's start with a brief background of continuous monitoring. The internal audit profession has undergone tremendous changes over the years, and expectations have never been higher. As business dynamics become more complex and as organizations grow and expand worldwide, and as the intricacies of the risk environment multiply, internal auditors must find new, faster, better, and more accurate ways of getting the work done. So, the internal audit profession, so it talks about or it highlights the evolving nature of the internal audit profession. So it emphasizes the increasing complexity of business dynamics, global expansion, and the growing intricacies of the risk environment. So with that, it underscores the need for internal auditors so dapat sila adapt of new, faster, and more accurate methods to keep pace with the changes. All right, so paper-based clinical reviews that rely on sampling are being challenged by fast developments that can't wait months, much less than years to be detected. Clever employees, vendors, and customers defraud organizations through unique trickery that may not appear in a sample and attempting to test every control related to the process in question would demand in having an army of auditors with virtually no time constraints to go through it all. So to summarize, ang traditional paper-based DAO cyclical reviews relying on sampling are no longer sufficient. So why anong dili naman sila longer sufficient? It is because of the changes as we go along as the as the nature of internal audit profession evolve. So they are no longer sufficient as they cannot effectively detect fast developing issues or unique forms of fraud. So this statement advocates for the use of data analysis tools and digital information to capture or to enhance the effectiveness of internal audits. So it suggests nga ang internal auditors dapat sila mag-capitalize on these tools and provide recommendations for their implementations. So on the past slide, di ba, nag-talk of the need for internal auditors to adapt to the changing business landscape by leveraging data analysis tools and digital information para ma-improve ang efficiency and effectiveness of their audits. So on this slide, it talks about the continuous auditing of high-risk activities. So um, it visually depicts the progression of internal auditing practices from traditional sampling methods through continuous monitoring. So let's break down each stage. Initially, internal auditors relied on sampling techniques. So this approach was manual and often limited in scope. So where they would select a subset of data to analyze and draw conclusions about the overall integrity of the processes. So with technological advancements, so auditors began utilizing data analysis analytic tools to process and analyze larger data sets efficiently. So this allows them for more in-depth insights into the organization's operations and help identify anomalies or trends. Now, as technology continued to evolve, so auditors shifted towards continuous auditing. So, ano ni suggest, so it enables them to perform audit-related activities more frequently and automatically. So this practice involves real-time monitoring and analysis of transactional data controls. And the final stage depicted in the chart is the continuous monitoring. So where monitoring processes and controls are integrated into day-to-day operations. So this advanced stage involves establishing automated processes that continuously assess compliance and performance standards. Now, para sa para to summarize, ang diyan ko 'di ba, from traditional into automated na ang pag ang pagkuan sa audit. So this chart highlight the evolution of internal auditing from manual sampling to automated real-time monitoring practices. So this progression signifies a shift toward more efficient and effective auditing processes that adapt to the dynamic nature of modern business environments. No, so as kung ano to no kanang as kung ma-imagine na to, so sa karon nga setup, so advanced technology naman jud na karon. So makita na to ang importance sa continuous monitoring. So with continuous monitoring, it enhances the effectiveness of the company's risk management and control processes. So it involves a regular real-time assessment of an organization's operations, transactions, and processes to identify potential risk and control weaknesses. So as mentioned on continuous monitoring, so through leveraging technology such as data analytics and automation, so it enables auditors to detect anomalies, errors, and fraudulent activities promptly. So okay, so kaning table, it is an excerpt from a section of operational auditing. So it outlines different types of data analysis that are commonly utilized in internal auditing within businesses, along with their primary objectives. So each type of analysis is a tool for auditors to ensure proper controls and compliance with policies and regulations within the organization. So ma-appreciate din nato si Ja if we um ma-appreciate nato si Ja if we are going to read this. So on the other side, these are the following objectives. So on the other side are the type of analysis that the auditors will conduct. So we have to put ourselves into the internal auditor's shoes um, para ma-achieve nato ang kanilang mga objectives. So for example, we are going to analyze critical data. So the objective is to make sure expected values and format exist and are followed. So another example, if we're going to while doing the internal audit, so if the internal auditor aims to analyze the segregation of duties, its importance is to make sure transactions are valid and authorized. So it is really important John, nga while doing internal audit nga we have that kind of objective to make sure nga ang atong ang pag-audit is magka-provide og kanang nindot nga maka-provide og authorized and in compliance with company set limits. And this will also help this will also address specific risk associated with financial transactions and helps in maintaining the internal control structure of an organization. So with these procedures that are crucial in identifying potential issues such as fraud, errors, and non-compliance, which can have a profound financial and reputational repercussions for a business. So on the following slide, so it will be discussed by Madeline Makoto. So that would be all for my part. Thank you.
To continue the discussion, let's proceed to data analysis software applications. So the data analysis application software refers to versatile tools designed to analyze, manipulate, and visualize data. They offer capabilities for data cleaning, statistical analysis, visualization, and integration with other systems. These applications handle various data types, support big data processing, and often incorporate machine learning and AI algorithms. They prioritize data security, enable collaboration, and empower users to make data-driven decisions across industries. So here in the table, these are the commonly used data analytics. The audit tool landscape has evolved significantly, offering a range of options from traditional tools like Excel with its useful formulas to specialized software like ACL or the audit command language. These tools have strengths such as data integrity, analysis accuracy, and handling large data volumes. They integrate with organizational systems like GRC solutions and electronic work papers, reducing costs and improving collaboration. Modern tools are versatile, powerful, and easy to use, enabling auditors to perform complex analysis efficiently and share results globally. To effectively use data analytics in auditing, first understand information governance, including critical data identification through risk assessment or existing documentation. Second, identify data storage methods, including potential outsourcing to third parties and review related agreements. Third, extract and analyze data with a focus on assessing controls, operational effectiveness, and efficiency aligned with audit objectives. Understanding information governance, data storage methods, and effective data extraction and analysis are essential for reducing risk, ensuring compliance, streamlining audits, gaining insights, and making informed decisions within organizations. When evaluating the organization's risk and compliance conditions and readiness for data analytics, it is helpful to begin with a gap analysis. By documenting the current state of the organization and comparing that with the organization's plans for the future, the auditor can identify areas of improvement. The following questions can help internal auditors determine the condition of their organization's risk and compliance functions, whether they are performing an assessment or acting in an advisory capacity. So, how would you define the current approach to managing risk and compliance issues, and how mature is the process? So, with this information, a plan can then be created that addresses strategic, process, people, and technologically impact and defines who will be doing what and when. So there are three levels: the initial, evolving, and functional. First, the initial phase. In the beginning, processes are ad hoc and reactive, lacking a specific plan or clear leadership. Technology usage is limited, often relying on manual methods like spreadsheets. Responsibilities are scattered, leading to inconsistent risk rankings and difficulty in obtaining a reliable overview of organizational risks. Second is the evolving phase. As the organization evolves, a basic plan is established along with a rudimentary business case for resource and technology needs. Collaboration among roles improves, and there is a growing alignment with models like the three lines of defense. Risk ranking becomes more consistent, and there is a better connection between risk or compliance and strategic objectives. Technology adoption increases, particularly with tools designed for GRC purposes, aiding in better risk visibility for senior management. And lastly, the functional phase. At this stage, the plan is well managed with progress measured against defined criteria. Clear leadership coordinates rules and activities across functions, ensuring a strategic link between risk or compliance and organizational goals. Consistency in risk ranking is achieved across the organization, supported by high level of awareness among senior management regarding GRC issues. The integration of specialized technologies like a data analysis and automation further enhances risk assessment, monitoring, and compliance management integrated seamlessly into everyday business operations. Strategic and operational performance reporting systems are also integrated into overall risk and compliance initiatives, providing comprehensive insights for decision making. So now let's proceed to the computer-assisted audit tools and techniques, or the CAATT. These play a vital role in achieving operational excellence within organizations. So these tools leverage technology to automate audit processes, analyze large volumes of data, and provide insights that contribute to improve efficiency, effectiveness, and risk management. So here are some key points in using CAATT to achieve operational excellence. These are the automation of audit processes, efficient data analysis, enhanced risk management, improved compliance, data-driven insights, integration with business processes. In summary, leveraging CAAT helps organizations streamline audit processes, enhance data analysis capabilities, strengthen risk management practices, ensure compliance, and derive valuable insights for achieving operational excellence across various functions and departments. So now let's proceed to the Continuous Control Monitoring, or the CCM, and the Continuous Controls Auditing, or the CCA. So the main importance of CCM is that proactively manages risk, improves operational efficiency, and ensures compliance through ongoing control assessment. While the Continuous Controls Auditing, or the CCA, the importance is to provide independent assurance, identifies control weaknesses, supports risk mitigation, and validates compliance with standards and frameworks. To summarize, the CCM focuses on real-time monitoring and immediate action to manage risk and ensure compliance, while the CCA complements it by conducting periodic audits to provide assurance, identify weaknesses, and validate compliance. Both are essential for strong internal controls and operational excellence. That would be all on my report. This is Madeline D. Makoto. Thank you for watching and listening.